The freight yard bustled with the chaotic rhythm of interstellar trade, clanging metal, flashing lights, and the low murmur of dozens of languages merging into one humming cacophony. Humans and aliens alike moved crates, scanned inventories, and barked orders. Among them, Kieran adjusted his tool belt and sighed. Another long shift, another day of hauling cargo under the blistering suns of Jorah 9. He noticed her right away. She was smaller than the other dockhands, her posture oddly reserved. A worn hoodie hid most of her features, the hood casting her face in shadow. She didn't speak much, didn't interact. She worked fast, efficiently, like she'd done this 1,000 times before. Just another low-tier worker, he assumed. Some poor drifter doing her time. He'd seen dozens like her. She kept to herself, head down, voice barely above a whisper when she answered supervisors. Her hands, though gloved, were swift and precise, more like an engineer than a dock worker. Kieran watched as she guided a hovering crate with quiet finesse, avoiding a pileup of motion that suggested instinct rather than training. He offered her a drink during break once. She didn't take it, just gave him a polite shake of her head, and turned away. Strange, he thought. Most aliens here were desperate for kindness. Still, Kieran didn't push. Everyone had their reasons. Maybe she was running from something. A past. A war. Maybe she was just tired. Until that day, it started with a malfunction. A hover lift snapped its restraint midair, sending a crate tumbling down toward a group of workers. People scattered. Screams erupted, but she didn't move. Instead, she darted forward, straight into the danger. Her hoodie flapped as she raised her hand, and Kieran swore it happened in slow motion. Blue arcs of energy surged from her fingers. The crate froze midair. Gasps rippled through the yard. With a flick of her wrist, she lowered the crate gently to the ground. Silence. Not just surprise, a fearful, reverent silence. Then, slowly, she pulled back her hood. Kieran's breath caught. Underneath was no simple dockhand. Her skin was a deep shimmer of obsidian, marked with glowing silver veins that pulsed like circuitry. Her eyes, sharp and luminous, glowed with an ethereal violet light. Her ears, long and angular, twitched subtly as she scanned the stunned crowd. An Arklian, not just any Arklian, one of the royal line. Kieran had only seen them on news feeds. Arklian monarchs were kept away from public eye, hidden behind warships and diplomatic missions. The energy manipulation she displayed wasn't just talent, it was blood right. Genetic power passed through only the elite. She met Kieran's gaze. Not cold, not afraid, just tired. Guards rushed in seconds later. Not dock security. Planetary enforcers clad in silver armor. They didn't draw weapons. They bowed. "Hi, Scion Asari," one of them said. "We've been searching for you." She didn't respond immediately. She looked at the crate she had saved, the workers watching her with awe and confusion. Then she sighed and finally spoke, her voice melodic yet heavy. "I asked not to be followed." The lead enforcer lowered his head. "The council demands your return. You've been gone too long. Your mother grows weak." "I'm aware." Kieran took a step forward before he could stop himself. "Wait, what is going on? You've been working with us." "Why?" She turned to him. A sad smile played on her lips. "Because I needed to know." "Know what?" "If I was anything without the crown." The words lingered. She walked to him, slow and graceful, as the crowd parted. "You treated me kindly, even when you thought I was no one." Kieran faltered. "I didn't do much." "You didn't need to. You saw a worker, not a princess. And still you saw me." He swallowed, unsure what to say. She reached into her hoodie and removed a small, glowing shard. It pulsed gently and hovered into his hand. "If you ever find yourself in danger, show this to any Arklian fleet. They'll know who gave it to you." "Why me?" he asked. "Because I believe in remembering the people who see you before they know your name." She turned to leave. One of the enforcers paused beside Kieran. "You didn't know who she was?" Kieran shook his head. "Then she'll remember you forever." They left just like that, the crowd slowly dispersing as whispers spread like wildfire. "Did you see that?" She's royal. An Arklian elite right here? Kieran stood alone, the shard still floating in his palm. She was gone, but not really. The next day, her berth was empty, but her name lingered on everyone's lips. Dockhands told stories. How she never once complained. How she worked like one of them. How she fixed things even the engineers couldn't. Later that week, a massive Arklian vessel appeared above Jorah 9. It didn't land. It didn't threaten. It simply hovered, a silent reminder that royalty had once walked these yards. Kieran kept the shard, not as a trophy, but as a promise. And sometimes, late at night, he'd look up at the stars and wonder she was out there, watching, ruling, remembering. Because once, in the middle of a scrapyard, he saw a goddess pull off her hoodie and smiled at him like he mattered,